Hey there my friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today I am very excited because it's summer out again here in Ohio and I can get back to dyeing yarn outside. So I'm standing next to some of our Pin Drop Fibers Sorka yarn. So this is our heavy worsted weight Southdown that we hand dye, and I'm going to take you through the process of dyeing some more. So I have my yarn here soaking in this water bucket with a little bit of vinegar in it. And I have, this is my Southdown wool that is made into our Sorka. So I have 100 gram skein here, and then I made up some mini skeins. There's 4 of these mini skeins in here too. So I'm going to take these that I've had soaking for about an hour, and now they are good and ready to absorb dye. So I'm just going to take them and place them in this pot here, and you can arrange it however you want to, just kind of like lay them in here, do different ways and experiment with different ways of laying the dye on them. So I'm just going to lay this one in like this half of the pot, and take these mini skeins and put them over here. You'll see I use these little rings. These are just for shower curtains. And I just put the skeins around these rings so I have something to grab it by. Multiples would even be nice so you can avoid them getting twisted like that. So I like to try to keep the skein really nice. I just like to try to get these skeins not so wild before they go in, if they're getting a little off kilter. Okay. I'm just kind of gonna make these into little accordion shapes and just pack them in right here. Got one, that one. Okay, now just kind of pat it down like that. Okay, I just use this little electric burner, and just gonna turn it up to maybe like 4 for now. And I'm just gonna get this to start heating up slowly, and I'm gonna start mixing up some colors. Okay, so these are the dyes that I have. I have these Eurolana dyes. This is what we sell in the shop, this dye kit. This is my favorite. And then I also have some of these Dharma dyes. And I've tried these Country Classic dyes before. So I have some containers here, and I'm just going to take some of my vinegar and put it in these containers. Okay. I'm going to go what I feel will be pretty pigmented. So that'll be a yellow. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stir that up. Cool. Let's add some blue to this one too. Okay, and then let's add to this blue. I'm going to put some yellow base coat on this. I don't want it to be very pigmented, so I'm going to make a dilution. I'm just going to mix it with some of this unknown liquid. I always try to save any dye, even if it's not very much, because I'm not going to throw it down the drain or on the ground. So I just kind of try to reuse it. Just try to work it back in. Okay, so that's a nice lighter color. Let's put some vinegar in there. I just want this to be like a base wash to start soaking into the yarn. I like to get a color on there on the whole thing, just because I don't like when accidental white spots get left. So let's just go ahead and really give an overall dump. So while it's still not hot, I like to squeeze it just to get all that dye into all the little parts of the yarn. Just kind of squish it in. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm just going to get some more yarn soaking in my water and vinegar mixture. I always like to look at these knots and make sure that the yarn is not overly compressed by these connectors, because then you'll get white areas in there. So this one looks pretty good. I don't think these are one that we have to worry about. So I'm going to take my shower curtain rings and just hook it on. Like that, and then just put it down in the water, just squeeze out the air bubbles, put them all in there, and we want to let it soak for a little bit, just so all the fibers are nice and opened up and ready to accept dye. So I always go at least an hour. I noticed it does say 20 minutes on the Euro Lana, so that's probably plenty. Okay, that is starting to soak in and look beautiful in there. Still not really hot. It's good to let it come to temp slowly. Look at that. So now I just kind of redistributed it. So then like the dark and light spots are a little mixed in a different way. So now I'm just going to pour some more to see how this looks. That's nice. There we go. That looks pretty. So now I'm not going to disturb where the yarn is, but I do maybe want to just kind of help it settle in. Okay, so let's mix up some more dye while we wait. Oops. Water's clear, so the dye is absorbing. You can see my rinse water is not quite clear. So sometimes there is some dye residue that falls off, but sometimes it means it did not adhere to the yarn like it did. I'm gonna have to put this back in the pot with more vinegar and get it to uptake more dye. As for the color that's down in my rinse bucket, I will rinse in this multiple times and then I will actually try to reuse this as well. I'll dump it back in a pot as just like a base color. It won't really put any tint on the yarn, it'll just be my water I use so that that doesn't have to get dumped out. It's looking pretty cool though. I'm going to move my rack to dry in the shade so it doesn't continue to get sun on it. And we'll see. So you really want to try to minimize how much color goes down the sink. So you try to collect all that in buckets and reuse that. So if it's rinsing pretty much clear, then it's set and it's not going to bleed for the customer or yourself, whoever's going to be using it. So then I just take some dish soap or wool wash and put it in here with some cool water and squish it around a little bit. I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to rinse it again and then I'm going to let it dry and then it should be ready. Friends, well, I hope that was helpful to you to see the dye process, and I really just want you to know that there's a lot of techniques you can dive into. There's a lot more to learn with dyeing, but I just want you to see how easy it really is to just jump in and have some fun. If you liked it, please give the video a like and please subscribe to my channel.